Hello beautiful people, Yasmin here. Welcome to Juliet Kitchen. Today you're in for a phenomenal treat, as I always say, or fantastic treat, whichever word you like best. I am sharing with you the recipe for these beautiful sweet rolls. This recipe is actually based off of my challah bread recipe. The challah bread recipe is one that I scaled down from the school formula, or I developed from my school formula when I went to bread baking classes, and I've been making this for quite a while. Today I'm shaping them as rolls, but you could shape them braided. You could even put them in a pan to make pan loaf. One of the difference with this recipe, I am using extra virgin olive oil. It's a little bit tedious to incorporate the olive oil, but I'll show you how I make it. So I do hope you stick around long enough to see how I pull together these favorite rolls. These rolls are one of my son's favorite. Any bread really is his favorite. While you stick around, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button. Get printable recipes on our food blog. Okay, to get started, I have a KitchenAid mixing bowl, and I'm actually using all-purpose flour. So I have my all-purpose flour already weighed. To the flour, I'm adding granulated sugar. I like to use sea salt, but you could use kosher, so I'm adding that to the bowl. And instant yeast. I like to use instant yeast to skip a step from activating active yeast, if you will. I'm going to give this a little mix. I'm adding in eggs. This is a combination of whole eggs and egg yolk. Okay, I'm diluting 26 grams of honey with 195 grams of warm water. Okay, and now I'm adding in my honey water. I'm also going to be using extra virgin olive oil in this recipe, but I'm going to be adding that after gluten development. Okay, so I'm attaching a dough hook to my bowl, and I'm going to turn the mixer on low speed, and low speed on my mixer is a level 2. You really don't want to mix it at a high speed when you're incorporating the dry and wet ingredients. Otherwise, it's going to be all over your face and your counter. Okay, as you could see, the dry and wet ingredients are fully incorporated. So now what I want to do is increase the mixing speed to a medium high, and I want to actually knead this dough until it develops gluten. Okay, so this dough has been mixing for just about 5 minutes. So I want to check for the gluten development. So to do that, I'm just grabbing a piece of the dough. Let's see if I can get you to see this better. And I'm going to stretch it. You want to stretch it to see a clear window without breaking. You see right now it broke, so it's need a minute or two more. Okay, so far I've been mixing or kneading the bread for about 6 minutes total. And now I want to check for the gluten development. And the way to do that is just grab a piece of the dough and gently stretch. And you want to see sort of a clear window without it breaking. And I think this is about it. It should be ready now. So it's ready for the next stage, which is adding the olive oil. Okay, for the olive oil, I want to add it in increments, so I'm going to add a third each mixing period. If you add all of the olive oil at once to the dough, it will just slap around the bowl like crazy, and you won't be able to get it incorporated. Well, you will, but it's going to take a pretty long time. So I'm going to turn the mixer on low. And I'm going to drizzling a bit of the olive oil. Okay, as you could see, the olive oil is nicely incorporated the first batch, so I'm going to turn the mixer on at low speed again, and I'm going to drizzle in a second batch of the olive oil. I'm just going to continue mixing this. You want to be very patient at this stage. Okay, as I continue to add the olive oil, it's going to get a little bit harder to incorporate it. So I usually increase the mixing speed anywhere between 2 to 4 usually works. You don't want any higher than that, because then the dough is going to just slap around the bowl and the olive oil wouldn't incorporate as nicely. Okay, as you can see, the olive oil has been incorporated. That's the second batch. So now I'm going to start again at speed 2 and drizzle in the remaining olive oil. Okay, I'm going to continue kneading this until it's fully incorporated. Okay, so the olive oil is all fully incorporated. As you can see, the dough looks sticky, which is what you want. You want a soft dough, so you don't want to add any more flour. So now what I'm going to do is transfer this to a grease bowl, if you will. Okay, beautiful people, the dough is ready for its first proofing or fermentation, if you will. I'm going to have this sit in a draft-free area for about an hour and a half up to 2 hours until it's nicely doubled. The rising time, an hour and a half to 2 hours, will depend on how warm or cold your kitchen is. Mine should hopefully be ready in an hour and a half because my room is very warm. Okay, so the bread has been fermenting for at least 45 minutes. As you could see, it's rising nicely. And what I want to do now is give it one fold. So just get your hands underneath, pull into the middle. This helps to redistribute the yeast. Okay, and I'm going to cover this back and allow it to sit for at least another 45 minutes. Okay, beautiful people, it's been about an hour and a half or so. The dough is ready for the next step. Let's take a look. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Okay, so I am just going to transfer this to my work surface. So what I want to do is I'm going to make a log, and then I'm going to divide the dough. About a 12-inch log. And then I'm going to divide each half a log into 2, and then each one I'm going to divide into 3. You want to end up with 12 rolls, and quite frankly you could make them as big or as small as you want, but the bigger they are, the longer they take to cook, and the smaller they are, the faster they cook. Okay, I'm going to just degass and make a log. I'm going to cover this and allow it to sit for 15 minutes. Okay, beautiful people, now I'm going to shape my rolls, and I have my sheet pan ready with a parchment paper line, and I also have my egg wash. I do want a double egg wash, but I'm going to do one egg wash and then allow the rolls to rise until they double again. And then right before the oven, I will add them to, I'll add another layer of egg wash. So let's get these shaped. Okay, to shape them, you could just pull in the corners, and then you want to roll under your palm. You want to make sure you keep the seam side on the bottom. Okay, beautiful. And you want to make sure you roll it enough to seal the bottom, but you want to make sure it doesn't stretch on the top. You see how nice and smooth this is? Okay, I'm going to put this on my sheet pan. Okay, sometimes when I do the rolls, I stretch a little, and then I pull it into the center, each of the sides, if you will, and then I pull it under. Okay, and then give it a little roll to make sure that it seals completely. And again, you want to make sure that it's not stretching. Okay, beautiful. So I'm going to continue rolling these. Okay, another way is you could just keep tucking it under here like this and then pull and then do the roll so that it's nicely sealed. If the roll is a little too big and your hands are small like mine, you could use both hands. Okay, so now I want to just give my first egg wash. Okay, our egg washing is all complete. Now I'm just going to cover this and allow it to rise again until the rolls are double in size. Okay, beautiful people, look at these. Wow, nicely doubled. I have the oven being preheated at 350 degrees, and now I want to add my second egg wash. Look at these gorgeous rolls. I am going to get these in my 350 degree oven. The bread is in the oven. I am going to allow it to bake for about 25 minutes, usually does the trick, but you always want to check because everybody's oven is a little bit different, but 25 minutes on the convection setting usually gets the rolls perfectly baked. These rolls are smelling amazing. It's been baking for about 25 minutes, so I'm about to take them out of the oven. Wow. Beautiful people, look at these amazing rolls. Look at the color. They are just simply perfectly colored. To test if they're done, ooh, very hot. You just need to tap. Can you hear that? It's nice and hollow. I'm going to let these cool completely. Well, not exactly. I'm going to have to taste one while it's still warm, but I'm going to let it rest a little bit. Wow, look at this. Amazing. Can you see that? Perfectly cooked. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, beautiful people. You guys know what time it is, right? Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. My favorite time. Tasting. It has the right amount of sweetness, not too sweet. It's nice and fluffy. As I always say, it's damn good. So I do hope you'll take the time to make this recipe and enjoy it as much as we do around here. Until next time, happy cooking!